it's a choice, right? And what you don't change, you choose. I mean, all those simple little sayings that you stop and you think, oh, what's that easy? Change I can't to I won't. And that'll change your whole perspective on life every day. When you say, I can't go do that, I can't spend time with my kids, I can't make, oh, you won't, because you actually can. It's an easy choice, and our brains defer to the easy. Do I want to go for a run? I need to go for a run. And then you turn the TV on at the same time. What do you think you're going to do? What do you think your brain's going to tell you to do? Like, watch that TV show, man. It's easier.
Let's go.
Welcome to Citizen. We have a very special guest today, Mr. Tom Satterly, former Tier 1 operator, Black Hawk Down participant, and Chief of Operations for the All Secure Foundation. How's it going, buddy? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, pretty good, man. Daily things, getting out of COVID, getting past it, and trying to keep going, man.
So you guys, let's start with a little bit of your history. Tell me about your, pre-military experience, then joining the military, and kind of how that went for you, and then we'll get into the rest.
Yeah, pre-military was pretty undynamic, man. Just grew up in Indiana. I know what I was going to do, like most people. And I had a friend come back from basic training one day. I was swinging a hammer, building houses, this might be my future. Mm. And he came back from basic. He's like, I'm on my way to Germany. It's wonderful. You should check it out. And that day, we were on our way to John Cougar concert, and so I joined up for the military. Like, I'll get 4 years of money and get in and out and go to college, right? Mm-hmm. And I blinked, and 25 years later, I'm retiring. So, that just took me into the Army, into SF, and then into the unit. I met some people in language school, like, you should try out for Delta. And I'm like, oh, okay, is that cool? Mm-hmm. I'll do that too. So I just I had no plan, right? Other than what's out there that's better than I'm doing right now.
Right.
That allows me to do my job better and have more fun and make more of a difference. And so I just worked my way up to Delta and spent 20 years there before I retired.
And today's October 7th. We're about half a week past the anniversary of, the whole Mogadishu situation. I know, we've had conversations about this before, and I've, read some of your work, and I definitely followed a lot of your charity stuff. So, walk me through we don't need to rehash the whole thing. I mean, there's books and movies about that shit, but that sort of thing. And I've always wondered, I've never had the opportunity to ask you this or never taken the opportunity to ask you this, but I wonder, what I sense that's a problem for a lot of warriors that come home is like, it's a tough job. It's, you face a lot of bullshit. You get banged up, your brain gets banged up, your friends get fucked up. You do some stuff that, might cause what, psychologists call a moral injury or whatever. But typically throughout history, the majority of people have been able to come to grips with that by justifying all of it through sacrifice, right? Like, we did this for a reason. It was necessary or whatever, right? And then, I think Mogadishu is probably a good analog for the global war on terror. Like, the goal seemed somewhat obvious, but our actions towards that goal didn't seem very effective. And then, we half measure after half measure, we never actually did what we intended to do, in my opinion. And I think that is one of the things. Like, honor is the honor that we carry forward after service is one of the primary tools for repairing the damage that's been done. You know what I mean? In my opinion. And I think being robbed of that honor in some ways, having purposeless wars and things like that have really driven a lot of people into nihilism post-service. And it's a big problem. So can you share your thoughts and personal experience in that?
Yeah, I started out angry, right? I mean, why not? I didn't look into the matter. It was an emotional event. It wasn't factual. So I got angry about, oh, we're pulling out. Oh, we're flying a deed around. We're doing all this stuff. And why did we even go over there? And, I grew up 20 years later, or almost 30 years later, I've grown up to the point of self-awareness and honor. You speak a lot about honor, and that's something that I've had to realize. I don't get my honor externally. So it had to be internally. So what other people say about Mogadishu, Somalia, however we ended it or didn't end it, it doesn't matter anymore. It used to. All that it's yeah, yeah.
All right. Sorry, I had a weird beeping over here on one of my devices. Sorry about that.
Shit out there.
Yeah. It's probably the government listening to us talk. But anyways, yeah, continue. You're 18 people, dead. More people fucked up. You go through hell, and then Adid's still out there when you guys left, right? I mean, he's still running around.
Yeah, we're flying him around. I think his son was a U.S. Marine who actually got out of the Marines and went over and took over after he was killed. And I don't know what happened to him. I forgot what happened to him.
Yeah,
but it was one of those things I followed for a while. Like, a fucking Marine going back over there. What the hell? Mm-hmm. Traitor. And, I hate Somalia and I hate everybody. And I carried that for a long time, man. And, like hate and anger gets me through a lot of shit. But I finally grew up. I finally grew out of the anger phase because you can't do anything about it, right? Except be angry. And I realized that I had to turn it internally and think about the fact that I joined a job, right? I raised my hand, I joined a job, and that's what it was. It was a job. It became my identity. It became who I was. It became the tribe that I lived in. And when I got out, I kept trying to hold on to that same tribe. And that was killing me because you're not in the tribe anymore, man. You're gone. You're done. You want to be part of it. You're part of that past tribe, but there isn't a past tribe club, right? I mean, there's my bros, hang out with my bros, they die off real quick. You get down to your close friends who probably die off real quick if you live states apart. So it's actually a slice of life that everybody lives through, just more violent when you're doing your job. And you have to look at it as a job, not your identity. Because I still see friends of mine that are living the rest of their lives chasing that same identity, and they're destroying themselves. They're angry. They're mad. You can't change the past. You can't do a damn thing about it. You can ideate about how you're going to change the future, not repeat things, which we seem to always repeat things anyway because we forget the past. So, 30 years later, I was talking to Jen like, hey, it's 3 October, and I almost forgot, which was a real good thing for me.
Yeah, sure.
And halfway through the day, and then that night went out and had some drinks and talked about it and did some toasts, and it was over, and the group of 10 guys maybe now text, hey man, thinking of you guys. Yeah, I'm over in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I'm over here thinking of y'all. Yeah, and that's kind of where it's at now, publicly. But a lot of guys behind the scenes are still struggling, trying to fit some narrative that they can't anymore. You're not kids anymore. You can't run around and do that. Leave it to the kids, but. Yeah, I had to fight it, that it was who I was, that it was my identity, and get past the fact that my identity is who I continue to make it today, not my past.
Well, historically, it used to be very common for warriors to go into politics or become business leaders. That was kind of the standard back in the day. Like you look at ancient Rome, for example, Julius Caesar wasn't still fighting in wars and shit like that. He was serving as tribune or whatever, eventually as dictator. But yeah, it's like there isn't a whole lot of, in my opinion, there isn't a whole lot of utility in constantly looking backward. You know what I mean? Like you carve out the lessons that you've learned, and you got to move on. Now that's when it comes to easier said than done, that might be the fucking biggest one of all time, right?
Yeah, just get over it.
Yeah. But it's people in general, all human beings, I think, crave both structure and purpose more than anything else they'll ever crave in their life. And when the purpose of your life is at such an extreme level, like literally life or death, like frequently you're in life or death situations, that's the kind of thing that has to be deprogrammed. Like you don't just come home and get back into a rhythm and get over it. Like you have to be deprogram might not be the right word, because that kind of implies that you're brainwashed or something, but it really is kind of like that. Like you get into like all of your hormones and protein stimulus and all this stuff is firing because of action, because of danger and all this. But you have to, at some point, figure out how to refocus that purpose, right? And do what you need to do.
It's muscle memory. We beat it into ourselves. We truly, every day of our lives, beat what we do to stay alive into ourselves and it becomes muscle memory. It is a habit. And we don't even realize the fact that how we speak becomes a habit. You know, I'm strong, I'm bold, I'm violent, I'm aggressive, I'm a dominant, and I'm on top. I'm a type A, and I'm talking louder now because I'm talking about it. And that's how I talk to the kids. Why aren't the dishes clean? You know, and they're like, I'm like, hey, just clean the dishes. It's who you are.
Yeah.
It's really who you become. And I raise the awareness of, you teach people shooting, right? Yeah. And you can tell someone who knows how to shoot in quotations already when they show up, right? And they've got anticipation, a recoil built in. You got to break that habit. You got to break that bad habit before you can ingrain the new habit 10,000 times before it becomes muscle memory. Now, after that, I can do other things while I shoot you in the face and not even think about it because I'm so good at it. And all my other skills of being dominant. So when I come home, deprogramming is the right word, or retraining is what we call it. You know, we tell guys, you don't need help anymore. You're not asking for help. You don't need help. You need retrained.
Yeah.
You've been trained to be violent. You've been rewarded for it. They give you medals for crushing somebody's fucking skull.
Yeah.
Come home, you're like, I'm fucking happy, man. I got a silver star. Woo. 5 bronze stars. I kicked some fucking ass. And then you look back on it later and you're like, oh, shit. Now I got rewarded for all this violence. And it told my brain that that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I need it. You know, I need that. And then I come home and I act the same way, you know, at a lower level, of course, but you're acting the same way. And people are like, I can't manage this. I need help. And it's like, you just need to realize you need just training. You haven't been trained on how to deal with life at home. You've just grown into it. You've had multiple years of training to do your job at work. When you come home, what do you think you're going to behave like? Like you were trained to do, just like you're going to combat. You come home just like you go to combat, and you act the same way. So you have to deprogram, you have to retrain and reprogram yourself to behave differently. And it takes a long time, many. I'm still trying to not be an asshole sometimes.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think mostly for me, it comes across in the two things. The tone of my voice for sure is one. And then accompanying that is some degree of impatience and expectation of people just to be on the same page as me, which sometimes is reasonable and sometimes is not. But the other part is that like kind of detached stoicism, focused on a goal kind of situation. And I wonder from your perspective, now you do a lot at All Secure Foundation, you guys, you do a lot with PTS and couples coaching, especially. I think you guys might be the only ones doing that part where you bring in a service member and their spouse and like, hey, here's how you navigate this bullshit. If you really want to stay together and make all this work, here's how you do it. Because you and your wife figured it out, right? So one of the things I say a lot here is if you can turn your pain and suffering into empathy for other people, you can save 2 lives, yours and theirs, right? And
absolutely.
It's to me, it's the most important thing. Like, there's a lot of, I guess, so-called veteran influencers in the world these days. And, you know, people serve their country and now they're trying to turn it into a fucking business for themselves. I have no problem with that. But there's not a whole lot of people. There's not a whole lot of people who are laying themselves out for everybody to see and be like, hey, this is the same fucked up path that you're on. This Instagram bullshit's not real. I'm falling down just as much as you are. And the only way that this gets better is if we admit it and then help each other out. That's it. Right.
Yeah. Easy. It's easy.
Yeah. I mean, in theory it is, right? Right. It's just we're weak.
It's a choice, right? Mm-hmm. And what you don't change, you choose. I mean, all those simple little sayings that you stop and you think, oh, what's that easy? You know, change I can't to I won't. And that'll change your whole perspective on life every day. When you say, I can't go do that. I can't spend time with my kids. I can't make, oh, you won't, because you actually can't. Mm. It's an easy choice. And our brains defer to the easy. Do I want to go for a run? I need to go for a run. And then you turn the TV on at the same time. What do you think you're going to do? What do you think your brain's going to tell you to do? Hey, watch that TV show, man. It's easier. It's right here. It's on. So it's actually effort, and we have to put in that effort daily, man. Daily. Guys go out and do one thing, one modality, and it didn't help me. Well, no shit. You've been in for 20, 25 years doing violent, aggressive shit. You went for a week and did ayahuasca, which is great, different things like that. But you've got to continue because it's going to be behavior change, which is like building a muscle memory. 10,000 repetitions, 3 months, 90 days. Something to get you in a habit.
Well, for something that's decades in the making. I think the new research says that you're looking at 10 weeks, right? At a minimum, 10 weeks to reassociate just your body's stimuluses, the hormones and chemical reactions that happen in your body with better behavior. And I wonder, on the on the point of making the hard decisions or choosing the hard road over the easy road, my buddy Jeff Lopes calls it non-negotiables, right? So he's a serial entrepreneur, does a lot of stuff, does a lot of charity work as well, but he's gone to the length of putting family time on his physical calendar, right? And there's 2 hours here, like several times a week, where he's just with his wife and kids. The phone's off. That's it, right? He calls it the non-negotiable time, and everybody that works with him knows that you can't reach me during these hours, right? Yep. I think that's an important thing to do, because if we want, when you were going to the unit, you were already really good at what you did. To get better at what you did, you did the same thing in principle that you did when you first learned how to do all this stuff, which is to set up guardrails for yourself and execute over and over and over and over again, repetition, right, until it becomes habit. It doesn't. I don't know why people think that cheapens the experience, right? I've had these conversations. Well, I mean, if you feel like doing it, you should just be doing it. Like, that's not how that life works, man. You know what I mean? You have to fucking discipline yourself on a regular basis.
You have to be honest, knowing you're going to be lazy. Yeah, right. Nobody going to the gym is fun until you miss it for a couple of days and it feels good to lay in. And you're like, I got to go. And then you start to back off. You have to get back on it right away all the time. Anytime you give yourself a chance to take a break, you're going to take that break. I mean, your body is just determined to do it. I think somebody calls it the 5-second rule, right? It's not about picking up food on the floor. It's about once you decide to do something, make up that decision and go do it within 5 seconds, or you're going to default to the easier thing. So once you've decided to do something, like at night, you're having booze and drinking and you're having a good time. And I'm like, yeah, I'm having some few drinks in me. And like, I'm going to start working out tomorrow. I always used to talk about, hey, tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to get onto something, because I felt good. I was drinking and I was relaxed. And then I had a great idea about tomorrow, knowing that, okay, I'm not going to stop drinking probably. So when tomorrow comes, I'm not going to feel like doing what I talked about that night. So that intention of, I got in my calendar, busy time. Here's an hour every day, busy time. That's family time. That's no phone call, no email time, no matter what. And don't schedule anything in there, because if not, I'll fill it up. I'll fill it up with shit that tears me down every day. Listening to horrible stories from veterans and their spouses of what veterans do to spouses and active duty members as well, wears you down. And if you don't make intentions for every job that you do to take time for yourself and for your family, then you're just growing apart. And that's about 92% of the people we talk to want help with their relationships. So that's why we focus on relationships and both parties in the relationship, because I can tell one person, hey, you need to be doing this, and the other person has no idea what's going on. They're not very helpful at all. But if you do the battle buddy system or the team system, whatever it is you want to call it, hold each other accountable. Each other understands what each other's doing when they start to fall off that track or start to go down that aggressive path. I know not to make fun of you. I know not to shame you right now or to question you because of how you're trained. That makes you aggressive. So right. You kind of learn each other's tactics. You can operate around them.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, and it's, let's just put it out there that it's a lot to ask of a partner in life to do that stuff. And I tell people this a lot, and it sucks, and maybe it sounds coarse or whatever, but it's someone is either prepared to do that or they're not. You know what I mean? And it's unfair to ask somebody who is unprepared to do it, in my opinion. You can give it a shot and try to figure it out, but it's not something that everybody's going to be able to do, frankly, because it is tough. And
you be strong, diligent, persistent, and then you're going to reach burnout. Yeah. Caregiver fatigue happens a lot in relationships. I'm taking care of this veteran. I can't go on a vacation with my girlfriends because if I leave him, he might kill himself, or he'll get so drunk he'll do something stupid. Or, we a lot of guys get at attachment issues or attachment. The attachment theory with their spouses, where every time the spouse leaves, that's the team. That's the team now. Where are you going? What are you doing? And so it kind of it creates a lot of fear, especially when there's the arguing that goes on at home that nobody really knows about, right? And the secret stuff that nobody talks about until, oh, there's a murder suicide, or oh, he killed himself, but he was such I had no idea. You know how many times you hear that? I had no idea, right? It's not the guys that ask for help that commit suicide. They're the ones that get the. It's the ones that don't ask. They're quiet ones that, you know, you need to notice change. They don't show up anymore, or they're drinking more, or they're drinking less, or some difference in them, and then know how to reach out. And that's scary for people. Like, I don't know how to talk to my friend because he might do something bad.
Yeah.
Well, you talk to your friend.
Right.
And you don't say what's wrong with you. You just talk to him, and then maybe share what's going on in your life that's fucked up.
Yep.
And then that they take from that right away, and they always run with it. They'll always run with it because they want to connect and share with, oh, you're similar. Boom. They'll dump it. They'll dump it. And then what do you do with that? All right. Well, now you have information. Now they feel a little better. Now you can help.
Now it's not you prying into their life. Right. Because it's funny when you talk about male female violence specifically. I've done some in grad school. I did some research on this, read some research on this rather. Men are most afraid in male female relationships. Women are most afraid of being murdered by men, but men are most afraid of being humiliated by women, right? Oh, yeah. Not of anything physical. So if you map that onto these interactions, especially with a type A person who is regressing psychologically, opening up to somebody is the ultimate form of humiliation for them, because they're all of a sudden admitting that this fucking tough warrior guy that they are isn't reality, at least in their brain. It isn't reality. No, that's stupid, right? Because you do both. Every human being has both of those sides.
That is what I want to tell everybody. You can be a kick-ass, badass, slaying motherfucker out there, right? And then you can also go home and have a relationship and not beat your wife and not even yell at her.
Yeah.
And then you come back. It's hard. It's hard, but you have to do the practice. You have to set boundaries and the guardrails and everything that we've been trained to do. Make a plan and execute that plan, right?
Sure.
It's doable. Not everybody has post-traumatic stress. Not everybody beats their spouse. Not everybody wants to commit suicide. Those are the hard ones that we look at, right? Those are the very most difficult cases that we look into. But there's 4.4 million people that are just suffering that haven't committed suicide, that reach out to the VA system asking for help in relationships. And why am I so angry all the time? You got rewarded for it, man. You got rewarded for being angry. And when you come home, and especially if you're a leader, your spouse questions you, that turns a lot of people. Like, wait a minute, you question me? Is that disrespect? And then instantly you feel like shit. You feel shamed. And that turns a lot of people right there. That disrespect or embarrassment turns people fast into violence.
Yeah. And the shame that you feel afterwards, mostly you internalize it, right? And that's just depression, like rage turned inwards at that point. You're just pissed off. You don't know why. And now you're ashamed of being pissed off. I'm supposed to be in control. I'm supposed to be the leader around here, and I'm acting like a fucking child. I mean, I've been through this myself hundreds of times, and just even in just little instances, not just in relationships either, like in conversations with customer service people that have done, they're probably trying to help me, and I'm just being a fucking cunt the whole time for no reason.
Dominant, more intelligent than them, right? You might feel you're starting to lose what you want.
Yeah.
So you don't feel secure anymore. So you start to get dominant, aggressive, to gain back what you lost, right? What do you do when you violence of action, you've lost it? Regain it with a flashbang or a grenade, man. You know, you blow a door open, you regain it with violence. So when we feel like we might be behind or someone's not listening or disrespecting us, we turn violent to get, because that was our tool.
Yeah.
That was our tool. Like politics. Everybody's so mad at politicians. And I'm like, you know what? They're doing their job. They can say whatever the fuck they want. It's not legal or illegal. They're politicians. They're trying to get you to vote. It's up to you to do the research.
Yep.
It's up to you to not blindly listen to some idiot on one side say something and then hate the idiot over here. You know, you're the idiot for fucking doing that, right? I mean, it's what they're supposed to do. And that's, do I like them? No. Do I agree with it? No. But I understand it, so I don't let it make me aggressive and make me angry anymore. But
it's like, having the realization is what matters, right? And any of these things, sunlight's always the best disinfectant. A lot of people are saying that these days. But this, like understanding the process of why something's happening will often take the power out of it, right? So
facts over emotions.
Sure, yeah. And that's something that we've got to get better at as a society, because I mean, it's the whole point of this show that I do, Citizen. It's my premise is you can be a member of this country that understands your rights, but also performs the associated responsibilities required to secure those natural rights, or you can be a whining bitch and you'll be a subject of people who rule over you. It's going to be one of those two things. You can either do your part or you're going to get ruled by lesser men. And
parasite, bitch.
Yeah. I mean, it's really that simple.
If you're a parasite, shut up and enjoy what you suck from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just be a parasite, be the tick, be the leech, and just enjoy the host. But shut up. But if you contribute, vote, get out, be active, well, that's a lot of effort. Well, then shut up again. Don't sit back and raise more stink for other people when you're not even involved or even know what you're talking about. Half's a low number.
Yeah.
I'd say 80% or 90% of the people that run their suck half the time don't even really know what the hell they're talking about. They're regurgitating someone else's line of shit they want you to, they thought sounded cool.
It's like quippy, and it kind of aligns with my worldview, so it must be true. That's stupid, by the way. So if you hear something and it immediately sounds true to you, you should be very suspicious of the thing you just heard, especially if it's coming from another person, because there's a good chance they're saying that because they know you want to hear it, rather not need to hear it, but want to hear it.
Yeah. What do you want from me? Cause you to say that?
Well, it's like when you, I know you do this still, because every fucking dude that, like any of us, does this. If you walk into a place, or if you're walking down the street and you see, even if you don't recognize it immediately, if you see something menacing down the street ahead of you, immediately look behind you to make sure that that's the only threat. You're like, all right, I got the backside's clear. Now I can fucking concentrate on this.
On a setup.
It's like, it's almost like you're doing triage all the time to wade through the waters. You know what I mean? I mean, your brain is ultimately just a very complicated machine, or complex machine, that distinguishes between threats and benefits, right? That's what it really is. So back to your point about being rewarded for your anger, or for displaying your anger. Forget about the awards or the praise or the glory or honor or whatever the fuck else. Like physiologically, you're rewarded for it. There's nothing more. I don't know that there's any way to explain this that doesn't sound crazy, but there will never be. There's no drug on earth. There's nothing, no sex, nothing that will ever feel better to a man, in my opinion, than some dude trying to kill you and you kill him first. I think that is the ultimate form of existence for a human male, in my opinion. And how do you replace that? You know what I mean? And it's not just about the killing, it's about the winning. And then, you add the camaraderie about it, which kind of makes it a little more ethical. So you deal with some of the rough edges ethically, and that becomes your identity. Is like, hey, I'm a person that does violent shit for a good reason, and I get results. You know what I mean? And that you see dudes who play baseball for 20 years get on stage at their retirement ceremony and just fucking bawling, crying. And you wonder how it feels when a guy who spent his entire adult life doing that shit, you know what I mean? Doing what you did. Like, how do you recover from that?
I don't think there is a recovery from that. Hunting humans, chasing the most intelligent creatures on the earth, who also wanted to kill you. And then I was talking to Jen the other night about it. She's like, what is it like living in fear like that? And I go, man, it sucked. I mean, honestly, it sucked. You did it. I go to end up at number one at a door waiting on someone to touch you, and then three guys come up behind you, push you, and there's gunfire in the room.
Yep.
Push. You're going. You can't stop. There's no stopping it, but you don't want to go in that room. And you force your brain into those decisions for 20, 25 years. It's hard to recoup that dopamine level, that adrenaline, that feeling of, I just tackled the most scariest, dangerous thing on the planet, and I walked away.
Yeah.
I walked out of it. I did that over and over and over again.
Like thousands of times.
Last night, I'm still alive. Holy shit. Yeah. Everything else can be so fucking boring. But no one's trying to kill me. So I can chill. I can still chill a little bit.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, when you get back in the team room and have a couple of beers, it's different. Like that's whenever I'm feeling a little tuned up, like I'm lucky to live here because Jared's close by, and a bunch of my buddies who were in the military are within. Actually, one of them's out in the lobby right now. We still hang out and stuff, but a lot of people don't have that opportunity. But I think it's important. You need to find that opportunity for yourself to maybe not even, if you can't physically get back with your buddies like that, just to get yourself back in the mindset, the post-operation mindset. You know what I mean? Like, all right, the work's done. Now I'm sitting here relaxing. If you can, I think that's a really important part of this, not recovery process, but just reintegration, I guess, is to associate your service more with that team room than you do with the violent part. You know what I mean? Which is, I think it's tough for a lot of guys because they're really proud of what they did, and they should be. You know what I mean? It's tough work, and not many people are able to do it. You know what I mean? There's like a couple of fucking 10,000 or so people on earth that can do this shit, and you did it. You made it through. It's hard to let go of that. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard to say like that's who I used to be or whatever when it was like, I don't know. There's a lot of pride and ego involved in that.
That's where you need that next focus. I tell everybody, you're driving this fucking Ferrari, man. You're going 200 down the interstate. Quit looking through that little bitty thing called the rearview mirror. There's a bigger glass up there, the windshield, man. It's got the future in front of it. And you keep staring in that rearview mirror. It's so small, looking at everything I did. Look at a high school touchdown pass I threw back in high school. And reliving the last great thing you did is going to kill you. You have no mission, no goal, no future. So you need another thing that gets your blood boiling, and that's what we ask people, like, what is it you like to do? Well, I know is how to kill people and do this and that. No. What brings you joy? What used to bring you joy?
Yeah.
I play guitar, but I like all these instruments, but the guys that make fun of me, I go, what fucking guys? What do you give it? Fucking guys. I wish I could play fucking instruments all the time. It's fucking, just stop worrying about what other people think of you and go find that next passion, that next mission, and that joy, or you're going to be looking in the rearview mirror. Unless there's something to keep you moving this way, you're going to look at what you did. And even when that dries up, whatever you're doing now might dry up.
Sure.
Start looking in that rearview mirror, what you had before. You're like, oh, I miss it. That's where you're going to crash that fucking car, man. You got to look out the windshield. It's a lot bigger than the rearview mirror, and find another passion. It's something that you can affect and relate to. And it doesn't have to be killing people. It can be saving people. I mean, we didn't go kill people just to kill people. We killed people to save people.
That's right.
The why behind the why is saving people, helping people. So you can still do that. We talked to a room of probably 100 people in 4 different groups, maybe this summer at Fort Bragg, and they were all students that wanted to be Green Berets. And they didn't know it yet, but they were in holding because they either got injured, they got hurt, they didn't do good enough in a certain level, and they were going to get booted and reassigned in the Army. The needs of the Army. And they didn't know that. So here I am, me and Jen, giving 4 different speeches that day to 4 groups of people. And my speech was, not everybody's special. It's called special forces. And not everybody's special. It takes a lot. And that doesn't mean you're not good. You're just not special enough with the skills you need to be here. Now, why did you want to be here? Was it just to wear a Green Beret? Because you can go buy one at the PX, man. A lot of people do that shit all the time and get away with it. So, or did you want to come here to help people? Well, I wanted to help people. Okay, where else can you do that? That's your next focus. Where else can I do what I wanted to do? It's not here. Move on. You can live in that forever and never go anywhere, or you can move on and still do your mission of helping people.
Sure.
Just refocusing, man. It is so key to not, here we are, 29 years after Somalia. People still talk about it. Still makes me tear up when I think about it too hard. 10 years after retirement, I still see guys doing the same thing they did when they retired. Get overly drunk and start texting the group of, I need, and everybody worries about them behind the scenes. Hey, I'm like, dude, you need some help? Come over here. You need some help. The rest of us have already done it. There's always those 1 or 2 or 3 that are hard ass holdouts that just are afraid to let go of that identity. And I'm like, you just need something better, man. You just got to refocus forward. And it's scary. It sucks to see people like that, but they got to do it.
Yeah.
Right. I have people, hey, can you call my friend? He needs help. Nope. Here's my number. Here's my, my email, my phone number, text me, instant message me, smoke signals. I don't give a shit. And I'll fucking hit you right back. But you got to want it. If you don't want it and I'm chasing you, it won't work.
Yeah. It's just like any other addict, right? I mean,
yep.
You need that implicit act from the addict to show that it's time for them to start moving on.
We talk to them all the time. We go to groups and talk to active duty groups, and all the special operations groups and tell them, listen, you don't have to hit rock bottom to springboard up. Don't go that deep. Don't take your marriage that deep. Don't take your problems that deep. Get help now, or they'll get worse and it'll be harder. It'll take longer. Like PMCS in the military, man, right? Keep it running right. Take care of it. It won't break. It doesn't cost as much. It's the same with a relationship. It's the same with your own health and everything else you do. Use the same shit you know in the military on everything else you do. You've been taught it already.
Yeah, that's the interesting part of this is all these skills like maintenance of yourself, for example, and leadership and organizational skills and making tough decisions under stress. Most of the people that are listening to this show probably have those skills, but you associate them with combat or you associate them with whatever. The skill is the skill, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you can run fast, you can play football, you can run track. You're not just limited to one thing.
Right.
I wonder. No, go ahead.
I don't know how to get a job. I go, oh, you don't know how to plan. You've never been taught to plan.
You never went to the fucking NCO boards and shit like that. You didn't put all your paperwork and awards and written statements and take a test and blah, blah, blah. No, of course you've done it. You've done it recently. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's the same shit in the civilian world. The paperwork's a little different. It's not as harsh, and nobody gives a fuck anyway. So just do it, man.
Yeah.
Just fucking get up and do it.
In the civilian world, they don't actually check to see if you're lying or not.
Right. What time is it? I'll show up at 9 o'clock, and at 9:45 they show up, and I'm sitting there, what the fuck? And you realize 9:45. It's the world you live in. Why are you gonna get mad about it? You're gonna beat and change everybody to be different. You have to change yourself to accept the shit that comes and hits you every day. Right? You're not going to change it like driving down the road and I want to run people off the fucking road with my car.
Yeah.
Then I started looking for people that drive like shit and I hate them all. Now I focus on the people that drive well and they drive nice. And I'm no longer angry driving down the road and I don't want to kill everybody on the highway anymore.
I wonder how, so just at the genetic level, the evolutionary level, the purpose of masculinity has historically been to provide and protect, right? That's the crux of masculinity, at least from an evolutionary standpoint. And, we live in harsh times these days. There's a lot of political tumult. There's a lot of crime, a lot of weird shit going on. I wonder, from your perspective, how do you maintain your ability to protect people at the same level while divorcing yourself from a marriage, I guess, to that type of violence or violent attitude? I guess, how do you stay sharp and ready to defend, but still reintegrate yourself back into a normal society? This is something that we all have to deal with.
I realized not too long ago that I didn't have to keep up with all of my skills that I used to have, right? The probability versus a possibility of it happening. Before, probably going to happen. You're probably going to enter somebody's room or wake them up in the middle of the night and they're going to have a gun on their chest and you better kill that dude first. Now, is it a possibility? Sure. Very, very slim possibility. But I've realized that with my skills that I've had and not being cocky, that I could probably not do anything for 10 years and probably still beat half the country at drawing my pistol and out thinking you in a situation, especially if you're coming to my home where I live and I'm aware of it.
Oh, yeah.
I still, when I go to restaurants, I do a quick glance. It's not like I stare at everything, look for weapons and shit and blah, blah, blah. You know what? I go in. It just makes sense to me. If there's a fire, not a murderer, but a fire. Okay, where would I go? I still have that sense of protecting my family. And it's just a leg up on everyone else who just walks in, sits down on it blindly. Like in an airplane catches fire. Everyone's going to try to get out the same door they came in because of habit. I came in that door. I need to go to that door. And they're all going to be stuck in that hole trying to get out while it's on fire while I go out the door she said to you. Because I read that book each time on the plane. I've flown. I'm a million miler. I don't know. And I still look at that little thing and where's all the exits? Okay, I put it down. I look up. There's the little life wrap and there's the oxygen mask. I'm done. It's just a quick little thing it's muscle memory that I don't even think about. But I don't put the effort into it to be as good of a shooter, to be as tactically, able to CQB in my house. Could I still teach it? Yeah. I mean, old tactics probably, but I don't need it as much. I mean, someone comes to my house, I'm going to die or live killing that fucker, Yeah. So it doesn't matter. I told my wife, just get behind me and you don't have to worry about dying unless you see me on the floor dead.
Yep.
Other than that, don't worry about death because I'll be the first person dead. We were in the hot tub the other night on our back deck and we have a long open green backyard and then there's a fence. and it goes on into pure darkness. And we were in the hot tub, and she saw like a 3 flashing thing, like, you know, some people's phones blank 3 times when it's ringing, or a flash. And she looked at, I wasn't even looking. She's like, somebody's in our backyard. And she goes, why would somebody, and I turn, I go, what? And I didn't see anything. She goes, no, seriously, somebody's back there. I jumped out of the hot tub in my shorts and took off running through the backyard towards a friend. She's freaking out, running towards, no, don't go up there. You get shot. And I'm like, fuck you, whoever's up here. And I ran up there, I looked at the fence, hopped the fence, looked around in my shorts, you know, dripping water. And she's like, what, are you fucking crazy? I go, yeah, if there's a fucking problem, you hit it head on.
Yep.
Head fucking on. I'm not going to sit here and be scared in my own yard, worried about some bullshit going on. I'm going to go find out what it is and be done with it right away. I don't want to sit and stew in it for hours and wondering what was out there. There's nothing out there. I don't know what it was, but there was nothing there when I ran up there right away. So it's just that DNA thing. For some of us are just hit problems head on.
Yeah. Other
people are just trained and grown up and raised to put your head in the sand, man, and hope for the best. And that, you know, sometimes that works out. But when it doesn't, what do you do then?
Hope's not a game plan, my man.
All right, now you're a victim.
Yeah.
Now you're going to whine like a victim the rest of your life. And I hate victims. I fucking hate victims.
Yeah. I mean, a little, what's the phrase? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? Yeah. Like just, and we say it in a bunch of different ways. The way that the military likes to say it is that sweat and training prevents blood in combat or whatever, right? I mean, I think it's, I like what you said about just refocusing your situational awareness from, instead of thinking about what happens if a guy comes through that door with a gun, it's what happens if the fucking building catches on fire, right? You're still essentially, you're doing your fucking PCIs, right? You're checking the room, you're making sure everything looks safe. And if you're one of the guys that have, you know, been there, done that, your spidey sense is going to tingle if something looks weird, even if you don't recognize exactly what it is. It looks weird. You don't have to go out looking for that stuff necessarily, I think.
And people will use those worst case scenarios, like, oh, you know, I used to tell people nobody comes into restaurants much and kills people. Not very often. And they go, oh, remember Luigi's at Fort Bragg? Oh yeah, you mean 35 years ago, that dude at one time, that guy went and killed the owners of, yeah, okay, he was angry that. Oh yeah, what about, you know, what school shootings? So what about that restaurant in LA? Okay, you're picking these one-offs. Sure, they happen, and we're like, oh, they're happening all the time. They probably always happened all the time, right? But now everybody's joined together with the phones and the news and 24/7. You see that it happens. You know, it doesn't mean it's happening more. It probably is a little bit, but doesn't mean it's going to happen in your neighborhood. And if you're living in one of those neighborhoods you're worried about it, you're probably living in the wrong spot anyway, right? If you're not comfortable where you live, you should pack up and move.
Yeah.
You know, I can't afford to move. Okay, I'm sorry. You're in a situation that I just can't unfuck for you. Shockingly, you've just learned that you can unfuck your own situation, you know? So get to work.
Yeah. It's you know, the goal of this is to return power back to people to make good decisions, right? I mean, I'm with you on the victim thing, because the victim thing, it says at its lowest level, what it says is I can't take care of myself, so I need institutions to take care of me, right? Okay, that sounds.
I won't take care.
Well, I won't. Yeah, that's fair enough too. And then, you know, institutions need to handle this for me. In principle, that sounds okay. Hey, why not? You know what I mean? But it only takes 2% assholes in any given institution to ruin the whole thing. It's like a bad apple in a bunch. And
I throw this out to guys all the time when they're talking how badass they are, but they won't reach out for help. And I'm like, well, you bitching about, oh, I don't want a government that's going to tell me what to do. I don't want a government that's going to make me do this. And I don't want the government to control me. Right. I want freedom, but you're relying on them for your health care.
Yeah.
You're waiting on them for your health care, but you don't trust them. Why don't you consider that? Don't wait on the government for that either.
So I guess what you're saying is, if you want to take your country back, you need to take your fucking life back first. Right.
Yeah. And be honest about it. I don't, you know what, I can sit here and say, oh, I'm a Republican, I don't understand what Democrats bitch about. You know, I don't understand it. Oh, have I put in the work to understand it? You know what I mean? It's like, don't just sit there and spew hate. Don't sit there and spew someone else's ideas. Actually do a little studying of what do you want in life? How do you want to live in life? Where do you want to live in life? And how do you want to be told to do? What do you want to be told to do, if anything?
Yeah.
Go move there.
Go to Montana,
right?
go to Idaho.
Plenty of
Yeah.
fucking states to live the way you want or not live the way you want and let the government rule you. I mean, there's plenty of states and cities you can go do that in. Why bitch at me about how you want me to live? I don't really bitch about other people about how I want them to live. I don't tell them how I live. I don't really give a shit. I'm not political in that aspect because we help people.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything political and turn anyone away, right? But I would like to understand why people don't invest their time into what they truly believe in. Who, like if you don't like cops, call a crackhead. It's funny, but I don't understand the people who don't like law and order. I'm like, are they all bad people? Or is it, well, I don't like locking up people for things that they didn't really do. Well, that's not your job to consider, right? We have judges for that. The cops arrest people for doing bad on the spot. That's it. They're done. They don't have judgment. Now we're off to the lawyers to defend them against the judges.
But there's no campaigns to defund judges or defund attorneys, right?
Right. People just arrest you, and then what happens to you is not up to them. They're just stopping you from doing something violent or wrong at the time.
Well, that's because we are stupid, Tom.
Right.
And we want to solve all of our problems downstream, right? If there's gun violence, we want to attack guns, but not violence, right? What are the impetuses for the violence? If there's political corruption, we assign it all to the other side that we don't agree with, and then like, well, our side will fix it. We'll just vote for these guys, and then that'll fix it. Like, it's dumb, man. It's just I think it's mental weakness. If you're a conservative and everything you know about liberals comes from Fox News, or if you're a liberal and everything you know about conservatives comes from MSNBC or CNN, you are fucked, my man. I mean, that is completely ass backwards. That you may as well, you're just listening to propaganda at that point.
Google who owns both. Google what message they want you to hear, the vision they're trying to tell you for television. It's like, it's called programming and television for a reason. It's people pay them to say shit, and they pick pretty faces that you'll watch. It's a business model. It used to be news. Now it's just ideas. I don't know. Thoughts.
I mean, I think it's just an onslaught of propaganda at this point. And I'm not sure that either side is actually trying to win. It almost seems like they're just trying to distract people.
Yeah, that's how you get people to watch. It's all like people watch car crashes more than they'll watch somebody helping out a dog on the street or something. Hey, puppy, watch that guy crash his car, or watch that dude bust his nuts on his bicycle or something. All of those instant videos of watching other people fuck up in an instant are funny, right? So people love to watch other people suffer because it makes them feel better, I think. It's like, how do you become the biggest skyscraper around? You either keep building yourself up or you tear other ones down around you,
Well, I mean, if you want to reduce it to mechanics, imagine yourself as as literally a cog in a machine, and the machine starts breaking down. And how would you react to that if you're part of the machine? If your inclination is to attack other parts of the machine, that seems like a maladaptive evolutionary trait. Like you're fucking everything up. I mean, if there was a part of your body that attacked the rest of your body when something was going wrong, well, we call that cancer, brother. You know what I mean? That's fucking stupid. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't want to hear this like, I'm a patriot, I want my country back shit if you're out there attacking other Americans. Doesn't make any sense to me. That you shouldn't even be talking about other people. You should be talking about foundational principles of what it means to be an American. And if somebody agrees with that, then they're on your side. If they don't, it's your job to convince them, I guess.
The conversations turned into arguments. Whatever happened is conversations having a difference of opinion. Okay, cool. And then, it's okay. But now it's so polarized through the media, through politics, that we all feel we have to act that way. I know people that I was semi-friends with that now have made comments, like they would slam Trump, slam this, slam the Republicans. And, I was a Republican. And I never said a word, so they never knew, anything. And they just kept slamming. And then they'd make comments like, a friend of mine, starts watching Newsy, and they were friends for 30 years, and I'm not friends with them anymore because they watch Newsy. And I look, I go, oh my God. I go, what did you just say? And I you know what? I haven't talked to them since then because if you're going to judge somebody by what channel they watch, just because you don't like it, then you've already lost. You've already turned everything off. You're not going to listen anyway.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
and you're the problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's at that point, it's just confirmation bias, right? And that's why we are unable to ferret out good and bad ideas anymore, because people have aligned themselves with people and parties instead of principles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to win. And our side needs to win. So who loses when we fight like that? Oh, the nation loses when its leaders fight back and forth.
And it's something that we see, I mean, especially at the government level. I don't know that there's any greater pawn in the history of our country than the U.S. service member, right? Just being, how many political ads have been run over the last 100 years, just trying to trade on our honor to get people to vote for one side or the other. It's embarrassing, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. It's combat's an extension of politics, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to listen to me around the world. We're going to reach out and smack you. And then we should pull back and then say, okay, now what? Right. Versus reaching in while we're in the middle of smacking somebody and doing politics at the same time gets people killed. Or changing your mind because it didn't go well. Even if a mission doesn't go well, hey, the leader should stand up and go, you know what? Instead of blaming the military or the Pentagon, it's like, I sent them in. This is the way I wanted, and you don't win them all. We'll try again later, but sorry, this one wasn't a win. Versus, well, I didn't want it to happen, and they did it wrong, and it's the Pentagon. I'm going to fire some person, so this goes away.
And it's, that's certainly not helpful. And the truth is, you're not going to win them all, no matter what the situation is. Now, we've lost. I don't know about you. You served quite a bit longer than I did in some more extreme conditions, but I've lost more people to suicide than combat at this point, by about like 2-to-1 ratio.
Easy.
And it's something that, a lot of us have been trying to fucking help with. A lot of us have actually struggled with, and then transitioned into trying to help people once we figured out, some coping mechanisms and things like that. And it's something that you've taken quite personally. Your life is pretty much organized around helping these people find their way back at this point. Can you tell me about All Secure Foundation and what you guys do?
Yeah, All Secure Foundation, we started off as a resource library when Jen was trying to help me. We met post-service, and I was a fucking train wreck, man. And I thought I was good to go. I was just getting drunk every night and working hard every day. And then I'm good to go, right? But I was the angriest son of a bitch on the planet, and I felt like everyone hated me, and I just wanted to be dead every day. I wished I could just be gone and just stop fucking thinking. And she kept trying to help me, and we couldn't find anything. It was difficult. So once we did, and we found things that worked, she started jotting it down, and we just started a website to help other people find things that worked. And then it turned into, because she was working with me at the time doing RMTs, realistic military training exercises, we would be the last stop for training for the SEALs and the Green Berets and some Rangers before they would go overseas. And we would throw everything at them. And people weren't returning home. And she decided one day, it's like, I can't do this job. This is too fucking depressing. I want to help them when they get home, just like I'm helping you. So started up the foundation and went from just being a resource library to actually providing coaching and counseling 365 days a year. We went from one therapist that we hired that helped us finally after going through 5 other ones that didn't work. And we found one that was amazing. So we hired her on, and now we have 4. And we're nonstop. Plus, we run marriage retreats 4 times a year, and those are 4-day intensive retreats that really scratch open those scabs in front of groups of like-minded special operators, families that have all the same issues and all the same struggles, and they sit there and learn from each other and feed off each other. And 4 days later, each time it fills my heart up, man. And we were going to stop next year because they're so expensive. And you're only helping 10 couples at a time versus, get a whole arena full of people. It's not as close, and just give them a little bit of the information and hope. But after this, our 3rd one this year, we got one coming up this weekend, this next weekend. I talked to Jen again. I'm like, we can't stop these. We got to go find the money. We'll just go find the fucking money, because it's so helpful for these guys. I mean, we've got SF colonels that come in. It's like, hey, the guy across the table from me just told me you saved his life 2 years ago when you came and spoke at Cannon Air Force Base. I'm like, well, I can't save anybody's life. I appreciate the sentiment, right? I was the lighthouse. He did the work, but that made me realize that we can't turn that lighthouse off, right? We just, it's working. Not a lot of people do couples still. And that's the most the most feedback we get is the fact that we help the spouses understand what's going on, help them help their partner, which helps their partner. And it's kind of like a life-changing event for their entire family. We've got notes on our refrigerator that says, "Thank you for helping my mommy and daddy." You know, I walk in there and I almost cry every time because I know what their mommy and daddy were going through, and I know what that kid hears at home, and I know what we went through. But we speak at military bases, whoever will have us, to talk to the newest ones, talk to the leadership, to help change everything we've gone through, and we help people find those modalities of healing that I've gone through, that Jen has gone through, whether it be psychedelics or the stellate ganglion block shock or a shot or TMS or anything else that we've done personally. We talk about, and if it works, we push it, and we find the funding for it, or we partner with other nonprofits that pay for it. So we just nonstop help special operations couples or single people. It doesn't matter. I mean, but we also do couples all year long with coaching and behavioral change.
That's good, man. You know, it's, if you've got the ability to help people, it doesn't really matter what else you've got going on in your life. That's what you do, right?
It was the response to my ability, right? I had an ability to, when I wrote my book, obviously it was one of those, I'm never writing a fucking book. Never. I'm not a Navy SEAL, not doing it, Of course, Jen's like, you have to write a book because of all these people they're calling, all these people that keep asking the same questions. You write a book, it'll reach as many people as possible, right? Whoever wants to pick it up, it's out there. I thought, okay, that's a good idea, right? So we start writing the book. Of course, I get phone calls from guys from work, hey, what are you, a fucking Navy SEAL? And I'm like, I knew it. I fucking knew it. But it's had that effect. That book has been out there, and just the stories, LinkedIn, social media, whatever, every day. There's not a day goes by I don't get 1 to 10 messages from somebody saying, hey, I just read your book, and wow, it saved my life, or it stopped me from killing myself, or it made me feel like, oh, well, if you feel that way, then shit, then it's okay for me to feel that way, which is ridiculous, but it works. So I do it,
What's the name of the book, by the way, so people can go out and buy it if they haven't seen it yet?
All Secure.
All Secure.
Jen's got a book called Arsenal of Hope that's really more of a handbook. It kind of picks up after mine ended. Mine kind of ends with, we're starting a foundation and, things are great. Hers picks up with, yep, Tom is fucked up. Here's some crazy shit and stupid shit that he did. And here's how we got him help. And oh, by the way, here's stories from other spouses that have gone through, and here's what's worked for them and us as well. And people read her book, and it's like, I'm going to take your book on vacation. Like, no, don't take it on vacation. That's not a vacation book, man.
Yeah.
On the airport reading, and they're bawling their eyes out. It's one of those realization books of, oh, this is normal, and it can be fixed, and all that horrible shit that I've been living through. It's kind of like a relief cry of, man, there's hope.
Yeah, that's great, man. I mean, it's something that everybody needs at some point. The toughest people I know have all broken. Every single one of them at some point in their lives, including myself. And if you're out there and you think that you're too tough for that, then I can introduce you to some people that are quite a bit tougher than you, that have been right where you are, and they finally had to admit that it was time to fucking do something about it. I appreciate your time today, man. This has been a really good conversation, and I really enjoy what you do over there. Tell everybody where they can find you to donate or to check out if they need help to reach out or whatever.
Yeah, we're at allsecurefoundation.org. You can donate there. You can, find our address there and send us a check. There's fees that the credit card companies take out. I get yelled at every now and then about the fee. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I can't. It's not what I don't get that money. I don't take that money. But yeah, you can send us a check. You can donate there. There's resources on our site, and we're on all social media platforms as well as All Secure Foundation, or on Twitter, All Secure Vets, I think. We dive into social media a bit. It drives me nuts. I want to murder people on it, but it's a platform that we can use that can reach people, hopefully that need that help. So we're out there for the awareness of those who need it.
Well, you're doing a lot. I mean, people reach out to me asking about veteran charities, and to be honest, it's a spooky world out there. There's a lot of weird shenanigans going on, but allsecurefoundation.org is one of the places, one of the top places that you can give your money. I think that Warrior Heart is another one that I would give my money to without even blinking an eye. So I really appreciate you coming on today. I appreciate everything you do for our community.
Yeah, thanks, brother. I really appreciate having me on.
Absolutely, man. And I appreciate you all listening today. This has been Citizen.